Okay, it's time to win a couple of tickets to Airventure. Christy and I are going to be talking about that and how to win them and how to enjoy Airventure on this episode of Taking Off Podcast. Hello, I'm Dan Milliken. With me via phone, Christy, say hi.
Hey, it's Christy Schaefer. How are you guys doing?
All right, Christy. So you are in the middle of doing a ton of flying just so that you can get some time off for Airventure. Is that correct?
That is correct. I manipulated my schedule this month, so that way I can get that at least the first few days off of Airventure, but that meant I had to cram everything into the first 3 weeks.
Where have you been flying?
Oh, gosh. Let's see. Where have I been flying? I went to Burlington, Vermont, Chicago, Indianapolis, White Plains, New York, Columbus, Ohio. Just all over the place.
Well, we're recording this on Monday. This episode will release in 2 days on Wednesday. This morning, Hurricane Beryl came ashore near Houston. How's that going to affect you and your work?
Well, fortunately, right now, it's not really affecting me too terribly much, or it shouldn't affect me. Most of my flying is actually up north this week. So we're talking Illinois, Fargo, stuff like that. So as it looks right now, Beryl is not expected to affect any of those destinations. At least I hope not.
Well, I know that originally it was going to come right over Dallas-Fort Worth, but now it's projecting significantly east. So I think that, it shouldn't affect DFW air travel.
Yeah, no, at least not too much. As I look at the radar right now, there is some pretty good bands just to the northeast. So even though it doesn't affect DFW itself, it will affect the air traffic coming in and out of DFW. And that's what a lot of people don't understand as well. They may look at the airport and say, well, the airport's fine. But what they don't realize is that all that air traffic needs to get routed in. And we have 4 main routes going in and 4 routes going out typically. And so right now it looks like the northeast and even the southeast corner post of DFW look not that great. So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to route that air traffic to the northwest and southwest side. And so that's going to cause a lot of congestion. There's going to be some delays coming off of that. So that's the only way that it's going to affect me is there may be some delays. Yeah.
And they close 2 gates, and as far as ATC, the Tracon, they'll route everything into one side. I've seen some time lapse of kind of what they have to do when the storms come over. It's quite amazing what those guys.
Yeah, no, it really is.
So, okay, well, Christy, we're talking about Airventure today. And now a couple of years ago, we were able to give away 2 tickets to Airventure, and these are week-long passes. So you'll be able to go in for the whole week. And 2 years ago, we gave away 2 tickets, and the way we did it was leave us a comment on the YouTube video, and we read them all, and then you and I voted and picked. And what's interesting is you picked one entry, I picked another, but you had compelling reasons why you picked yours, and so we went with yours. Do you want to do that same way this year?
We could. I'm down for whatever. I want to see those tickets go to a deserving pair, whether it's a couple or whether it's just a couple of enthusiasts. I always try to give away whatever we can to people who I feel deserve
or need it or
that opportunity. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you use the term deserving couple. Now, couple could mean 2 friends. It doesn't have to be like
right. Exactly. Yep.
So tell us why in the comments of why you are deserving, and we'll read it. And 2 years ago when we did this, then we would reply to that response when they won. And we're going to do this fairly quickly. So this episode posts Wednesday, the 10th of July, I would imagine by the weekend we'll know. So make sure you check back if your notifications on YouTube aren't there, because we will reply to that comment that you've won, and we're going to need you to get in touch with us so we can send them to you and everything else. And by the way, these tickets come courtesy of our sponsor, Marshall Protective Services. Nick Olson and his adult son, Andy, were planning to come, and unfortunately, Nick cannot. And he wanted it to go to, as you put it, a deserving couple.
Absolutely.
2 years ago, you convinced me the deserving couple. Tell me about them. Because we've gotten to know them, Heather. And
it was Heather and Michael Reed. They fantastic couple. She was going through private pilot training at the time,
and she also job's a flight attendant.
Exactly, she's a full-time flight attendant, so she travels a lot. They also have kids. So they juggle quite a bit, and Michael has just been so great. In fact, I believe it was him that made the appeal, because he just talked about how hard his wife has worked toward this and how much she has personally sacrificed. And this was her dream, was to be a pilot, and going to Osh would just absolutely, inspire her. And honestly, it did. She's gone on to finish her private. I know she's been working on her instrument. For her, it's just one of those things where she does it as she can, because she's got teenage kids plus a full-time job where she's traveling. So she's fitting it in where she can.
You talked about her having the sacrifices. What really stuck out to me in their entry was that Michael wanted to learn to fly too, but he decided, instead of them both trying to learn to fly, that he would not drain the resources, the family resources, put it all towards getting hers done, and he would do his, later when they could. So the sacrifices he made was incredibly altruistic. And
absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, that's what really stood. Talk about support. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
And it doesn't have to be anything exactly like that again, where, it could be anything. I mean, that I wasn't necessarily looking for a story.
Last time. I wish we'd had, a dozen tickets we could have given away last time.
I know. Maybe next year we can get like a dozen tickets, and just, because there were some really, really great deserving people. I agree. I wish that we could have given out much more, but maybe next year.
All right. So for those who are wanting to win this pair of week-long tickets, here are some things to keep in mind. You'll need to figure out how you're going to get there. You're going to need to figure out where you stay, whether you camp on site or whatever. You'll need to figure all that out yourself. We're not providing that. What we are providing is, the Airventure tickets to attend, to get on site all week long. The other thing is if you're only going for a day, that's not a good candidate for this, because these are week-long tickets. I'd hate for them to just be wasted for, 6 of the 7 days. That would be crazy. So
yeah, that's a good point.
If it's you, send us a comment, and we'll read them, and we'll decide pretty quick. So
yeah, absolutely.
Let's say by
Dan,
Sunday.
I want to. Okay, Sunday. Yeah, perfect. That's good. Yeah, make your comments by Sunday, and then we'll go through. We'll read the comments, and we should have a winner posted. Early next week sometime?
No, I'm saying Sunday. We'll post the winner Sunday evening or something.
Oh, we'll post the winner Sunday. Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. So then get those comments in ASAP.
Yeah, I would say if comments need to be done by Saturday afternoon.
Perfect.
That
okay.
way,
yeah, that gives us some time.
I mean, that's what Sunday is less than is just outside a week from Airventure. So,
my gosh, I can't believe it's here.
I know, we got to move quick. You were about to say something.
Christmas is around the corner.
Right. You were about to say something.
Oh, well, no, I was actually going to say, I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about what we've got coming up for the week of Airventure. Okay. Us, both personally, and then, of course, for the channel.
Okay. And also, for those who are listening and watching, we will cover some of our best tips coming up soon. But let's talk about schedule.
Yeah.
All right, Christy, you want me to start with ours, or you want to launch into
Yeah,
your?
yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about what we're going to do as a channel so that the fans
Okay.
can kind of anticipate.
So as a channel, a lot of us are arriving, and a lot of us, the team is going to be there's you, me, and Bailey this year is going to be able to make it. We're so excited to have Bailey there at Airventure. So there's going to be 3 of us wandering around, and then I have a crew of 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's like 7 of us on the taking off team. The crew will have T-shirts that have crew on the back and our logo on the front. And then Christy, Bailey, and I will usually we wear our taking off stuff as well. So if you see us, don't be afraid to say hi. A lot of times people will say, "Oh, we saw you, but you looked busy." Well, if we're recording, yeah, don't do that. But if we're in between, feel free. So here's our schedule. We are arriving Saturday. A lot of us are arriving Saturday morning because we have been granted an interview with EAA CEO and President Jack Pelton. And we only get a 30-minute slot, and we're going to be interviewing him on Saturday before Airventure even opens. And we're really looking forward to that. Then,
unfortunately, I'm going to miss that.
No, because you don't come in until Sunday or Saturday night. Yeah.
Right. And I had already planned that, previously. I'm actually flying in commercially.
Yeah.
So
are you non-revving, or do you have to just buy a ticket because
no,
it's so crazy?
I went ahead and I went ahead and bought positive space tickets.
Right. Well, we wanted to interview Jack Pelton on Sunday, but his just the fact that we got 30 minutes, we didn't really get to pick because he is, it's the eve of Airventure. So I imagine he's got a few things on his schedule. So,
just a few.
So looking forward to that. And then I'll try to get that video edited out so that we post that video on Sunday, the next day. Sunday, we're going to be shooting with Chelsea, most likely some Arrowverse stuff. And I'm hoping that we can get our ducks in a row on that. And we're thinking about doing an episode of Throttle Jockey at Airventure for the new app Arrowverse. For those who may have not heard about that, Arrowverse is a new video-on-demand app, a subscription-based app that has nothing but wonderful aviation content on it. Highly recommend that you sign up. And if you do, you can use our discount code Taking Off, and you'll get, I think it's 10% off. So go to arrowverse.com. We've also got a link in the description on the YouTube page. But do support it. It's something that's really cool, and if that really builds, it'll just be really good for the aviation world. So that's Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to be filming in the hangar at the Flying Eyes booth. We'll be alternating. We got 3 of us, so sometimes there'll only be 2. Sometimes we might do all 3 of us interviewing one person, but we'll kind of rotate in you, me, and Bailey as we go there. In addition, on Wednesday, Chelsea is going to come and guest host as well a few episodes. So looking forward to that. Thursday, I'm
really looking forward to Monday, though, because on Monday we have our YouTuber meet and greet, and that's always so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. They moved us back to the biggest of the forum stages, stage 8, and yeah, that's going to be at 2:30 on Monday, and we've got a great lineup. We got Mike Patey, we've got Steve-O Knievo, Steve-O1 Knievo. We're talking definitely the OG there. We've got the new guard, the new gangsters, with Hoover from Pilot Debrief is coming, and just I could go on and on and on. But check out all our social media. We're posting the lineup on that, and that's always a lot of fun. Monday, 2:30 at Forum Stage 8, and we'll do about a 20-minute little Q&A live for the cameras, and then we end that, and we just go to all the different YouTubers will break into their own areas and just meet and greet all the fans, and everybody moves around the circle, as it were, and to meet everybody. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's become one of the highlights of my Airventure tasks. So I love it because the energy is just so positive and high. And I just love, meeting everybody because the fans are why we do this. The people are why we do this. So,
well, the funny thing is I reached out to the guy that does all the facilitating of where, if you've got something, they give you they assign all the forum stages and everything else. I did request, one of the really big stages. He said forum stage 8 can seat 400, and that if we fill it, that he'll buy me a Diet Coke or no, he'll give me a free day pass or something like that.
He'll buy you a Diet Coke. Now that's your love language right there.
It is, and that's about the price of a day. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago we were at forum stage 8, and it was pretty full. So we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping that we pack it out. I need to take lots of pictures so I can show him so that we can get like Theater in the Woods or something next year. That would be awesome.
Yeah, because the last 2 years we've done it. I know last year especially, we were like the people were just spilling out everywhere. And it got to the point where at the end of it, when we were getting out into the crowds and meeting with people, it was so hard to move about, because just so many people were there. So I can imagine that we'll have an even bigger crowd this year. I'm really glad to see that we got forum stage 8. So thank you for that.
Right. Well, and the airflow is a little better in forum stage 8. Last year, the forum stage that we had, the air did not flow, and we were suffocating up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very warm.
Okay, so that's Monday. Then Tuesday, same time, 2:30, I am going to do my workshop at Forum Stage 4 on, how to utilize cameras and how to do editing for your aviation videos. So it's going to be nuts and bolts of best camera settings and things like that of production. That'll be 2:30 on Tuesday, Forum Stage 4. So if you're interested in that, please do come. Would love to have you there. And then, so we got in the hangars. I mentioned that. Then we got Monday and Tuesday. Then you and Bailey both, you're having to really carve this out because you're now low on seniority at your captaincy at Onboard. Lower. Not as high. Not at the bottom, but I'm definitely lower than I was. I think I went from seniority number 13 all the way down to seniority number 300. So, all right. Yeah. So you will not be able to be there the whole week, right?
Correct.
When are you leaving then?
I'm leaving midday Thursday to go catch my commercial flight back to be back by Thursday night.
Okay. So and Bailey has to leave as well. I somehow it's one of those things where I said, "Hey Bailey, if you can come, the second half would be great." And then she says, "I'll be coming first half," so it'll be all three of us. But and then
you know what's funny? You and I actually had a conversation about that, and I was like, I think I was in between something.
I told you first half is better.
And you told me first half and Bailey would come second half. And I don't know what my brain heard. I heard that you wanted me to come second half. So initially I was planning to come for the second half. And I was like, oh, that's weird, but that's okay. I'll do what I can, know? And then it was like, oh my gosh.
So I'll be
now it's okay.
I'll be carrying the flag alone there for the last couple of days. And that's okay. So
yeah, I think you could do it.
I think I can do it. One of the days will be a crew day off. Apparently you pressured me to do that after I worked everybody to death the first year.
Yeah, Dan, the people need the time off. It's funny because I've actually gotten questions about going to Airventure now. So many friends want to meet up with me and hang out and stuff like that.
But I'm working you too hard.
Honestly, it's become a job. And so, and that's why, you and I've had conversations. It's been, Dan, hey, we need some time to be able to go and enjoy Airventure as well. So I do appreciate that every year you get a little better and a little better by bringing extra help. Like, for example, Chelsea being able to help host some episodes. That's great because that means that I don't have to, and I'm going to be off watching airplanes or meeting up with friends or whatever during that time. So I'm really grateful for that.
So probably Wednesday I might be able. That's if you're going to, walk about and meet people and stuff like that, Wednesday would probably be the day, because Bailey and I, and then with Chelsea pinch hitting, we're going to be just fine on talent at the place. Originally, I was going to give the crew off Wednesday afternoon, but I think I'll go ahead and shoot through. And maybe even what I do is I rotate. So I have one extra crew person. So maybe like person A is off on Monday, person B is off on Tuesday. I may do something like that rather than everybody's off. But the hard part for me, Christy, is that I love what I do. So my work is play and my play is work. And so I am unable to differentiate that often. So I have to really force myself to go, okay, everybody needs a day off. So
I know. You and I have been working together for a long time.
Last year, our day off was Wednesday. And so what did I do? I went and shot my...
You were editing and shooting.
That's actually the day I went to the ultralight and had the rotorway flight with unfortunately, with Mark.
Oh, that's right.
I did all that on that day. Plus, we had a meet and greet that day, but I do remember you going back to the Airbnb and doing editing. And I was like, man, what are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I do appreciate that you are trying. That is a sign of growth.
Well, it's harder this year because it's going to be harder this year because you are there only, 3 of the days. So I have to, that one's going to be a little harder.
3.5 days. Well, I'm there Sunday, which I know isn't,
the good news about Sunday is that I do not plan on any channel shooting. We're going to be shooting for Arrowverse on Sunday. So you're off on Sunday. So enjoy the show.
I am off on Sunday.
Thanks. I'm
going to enjoy the arrivals is what I'm going to do. That's always, what you can do. For me, that is the most fun. I love hanging out with friends, grabbing a couple of chairs, and literally just sitting out and watching the arrivals come.
Well, you'll be able to do that.
I don't know why. Yeah, absolutely. It's great. It's airplane spotting, but like to the max.
All right, then after you and Bailey are both gone, I'm shooting Arrowverse on Thursday, trying to give everybody Friday off on the crew. And then Saturday, we're back shooting at the Flying Eyes booth. And I'm not sure if I'm going to shoot it as in the hangar since I'll be alone, or if I'll do the new one-on-one thing that I've been doing. It's kind of more intimate, so I don't know. I'll have to decide what I'm going to do, but...
Were you doing deep thoughts with Dan?
No.
Because we could do that.
The deep thoughts with Christy were great.
No, long thoughts. It was long thoughts. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, but all right. So things to do. You just mentioned watching the arrivals. What else are some of the must things to do at Airventure? You're much more pro than me.
Yeah. So most things to do are go walk through the forums. The forums, like what we're doing, they have some really great talks. In fact, I've got one of my friends out there. She works with Blackstone, who does all of the oil analyses.
Oh, yeah.
She's actually doing a presentation on oil analysis.
Oh,
so
nice.
Believe it or not, that's actually super interesting, especially for aircraft owners.
I wonder if they're going to get our friend Brian Turner to help.
Oh gosh. No, I don't think they thought that was very funny. But anyway, so walking through the forums.
That I could put a card to Brian's video, but then I just remembered he pulled the video. So never mind. He did. And that's why we talked about it afterwards and he was like, they didn't think that was very funny. But walking through the forums. Also the shopping hangars are really, really cool. You walk through there and you can see all the different vendors. And every year you'll see a lot of the same ones that come, but they may have different products. But I also love seeing the new vendors. One of my favorite little shopping areas though is like the little outdoor swap meet that they have. It's on like the south side there, south side of the hangars. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I forgot what they called it. It's like a swap meet though. I've never done that. I need to, because I need to buy some tools after I started doing my own aircraft maintenance with my IA. So, I need to start looking
check
for
this out.
Tools.
So the very first year I went to Airventure, I went into the swap meet area and just one of the things that just happened to be laying there was a Piper PA 28161 manual specific for my airplane, because I have the 180 horsepower engine upgrade, and I had been looking for an extra like POH, and there it was.
Wow.
761780. That's the part number. And like, it was like $8.
Wow.
I could not believe it. It's still upstairs on my bookshelf. Like, I was ecstatic. So just little things like that. You never know. That's definitely something you want to do, is go walk through there.
One of the things I really want to do, I actually want to do it in Sun and Fun, and ended up working so much that I didn't take any time. But
of course,
I really need to address my avionics situation with Lola, my 210. I really need to visit some places and figure out what I'm going to do. And I mean, I'm looking at Aspen. The great thing about Aspen is I don't have to rebuild the panel or anything. It'll just drop right in. I'm looking at Genesis, the STEC 3100 for an autopilot. I'm going to go talk to them. I'll talk to Aspen. I mean, I can look in. I mean, sure, Garmin is Garmin, and that's great. I just, I actually looked at Dynon too, and I talked to them last year, and I was very interested. The problem for me is that they did not have an autopilot STC'd with their stuff, so for the 210, and so that's just a no-go. So really, I guess I'm boiled down to either Aspen or Garmin for that. I don't know what I'm going to do for navigation. You know, your two choices are Avidyne or Garmin. Now, Aspen will talk with all of them. If I get the Genesis STEC 3100, they'll talk to either one of them. But I don't know what I'm going to do as far as navigation. So, by the way, if you guys have suggestions in the comments, let me know.
Honestly, Airventure is a great time to go and talk to the representatives.
Yeah.
Have those guys out there. I mean, honestly, I went through and spoke to the cylinder guys a couple of years ago, because back in 2020, I had some cylinders, and I noticed that my temperatures were different than my old cylinders. And I just went and had a conversation with them, and they told me it was perfectly normal with these new cylinders, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, like, I got a lot of really valuable information from those guys. So I would highly recommend doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get to meet and talk to the manufacturers and all that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be trying to figure out my avionics. So, yeah, I mean, the other thing is I'd really like to get a new interior. Lola's interior needs addressing. My Airventure, my AMPIA, has basically told me that if we pull that headliner down one more time, we may not get it back up. So,
oh no.
So yeah.
Yeah, I need to get the seats reupholstered, the two front seats in the Warrior. Everything else on the interior is fine as far as my upholstery, the headliner, all that. There's not really headliner, it's like a plastic, you know. But all of that's fine. But my seats get worn so much, starting to like crack, and you know, it's been several years since I got it done. So I don't know if there's any.
You kind of have to walk on the seats for the Piper, don't you? I mean, you have to walk across. Yeah, okay. Well,
I mean, you sit in it and slide over, but yeah, there are people. I mean, yeah,
especially that right seat, they're going to step into it to get over to the left seat. Yeah,
exactly, and that's the one that needs the most addressing.
Yeah, I would think
honestly. So. Yeah, but no, I mean, those are some of the bigger things to do at Airventure. And then after that, it just depends on what you want to see and do. You know, there's always the museum. I say every year I'm going to go to the museum. I've never been to the museum.
I haven't either.
Yeah, the seaplane base.
The seaplane base.
Yeah, the air show, seaplane base, which, yep, you've got the Stoll guys and the gliders down. On the south end, I mean, there's just so much to see. So it really just depends on what your personal values are and truly like what you want to go. My favorite part though is just, it's literally seeing all and favorite people up there, whether they're locally from DFW or from all over the world, you know, just kind of getting together and enjoying airplanes together.
Yeah, coming from
that is truly my favorite part. Yeah. Exactly. But honestly, yeah, if you guys want to come by and say hi to us, chances are we're going to be at the Flying Eyes booth. So stop by, and if we're not filming, we'd love to say hi.
One other thing that is a must-see is the night show. So Wednesday night or Saturday night is fairly, I think they're pretty much the same show, but at Sun and Fun, they really kicked their night show up a notch. They added a bunch of drones and stuff with the fireworks and the airplanes. It was truly amazing. I'm very curious to see how EAA, how Airventure answers the gauntlet, the glove that Sun and Fun has tossed down now, to see what they do, because it was phenomenal at Sun and Fun, and Airventure is not going to sit idly by for that.
No, absolutely. They definitely need to. I think they're going to probably level up a little bit to surpass what Sun and Fun did. So I'm excited to see what they pull this year.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our kind of like preview. We're by the time this posts, we'll be a week and a half, about 10 days out from Airventure. Don't forget to leave a comment about if you want to try to win the 2 tickets that we're going to have. And let us know why that you would be the deserving recipient of the tickets. Also, we've been mentioning our sponsors. We'll be at the Flying Eyes booth. And you can use our code at the booth, or you can go online to flyingeyesoptics.com. Our code is taking off, all caps, one word, and it'll get you 10% off your Flying Eyes eyewear. So check it out. You can do both sunglasses and prescription. They're the best things under headsets and helmets. I mean, Christy was a customer before we were ever sponsored by them. That's how much we believe in them. They're great. Don't forget Colton Mortgage, coltontakingoff.com for your residential mortgage. I mentioned Marshall Protective Services. Those free tickets are coming courtesy of mpsprotects.com. 67 Designs, the best mounts. I'm going to have some of those on display at the Tuesday forum, 2:30 p.m., 67d.com. They're incredible mounts for your camera, your cell phone, your tablets, and what a great group of people out there that make these mounts. And, of course, don't forget Z-Vision, xevision.com for the brightest landing and taxi lights out there, and Clemens Insurance, clemensinsurance.net. So
can't forget Clemens.
No. And we'll have Jerry out there. We're going to have him on the show, talk more about some of the insurance issues, because it's truly amazing that when I did switch over to, when Jerry took my account, he ended up with the same underwriter for my insurance, but he got it for over $1,000 less because he just knew how to fill out the questionnaire correctly. So, that's what you want in a broker.
And what's amazing is people will ask, like, oh, why are you doing the same topics year over year? It's because insurance is truly a dynamic, it's like ever-changing topic. And just from a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago to now, the landscape is just completely different. So we have to keep talking about it in order to look at what the issues are and see what we can do to address them. That's why we do that.
Yeah. So, please do visit our sponsors. They're all run by pilots. So we can keep it in the family, keep supporting the general aviation industry. So I appreciate you guys listening. And for those on YouTube for watching, Christy, thanks for calling in.
Yeah, I do what I can.
All right. Hopefully we'll get you live next time. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time on Taking Off Podcast.